Tonight, let's discuss the nature of bad family ties. What are bad family ties? Bad family ties are when you're related to a person and you have a bad relationship that sometimes creates problems for your other relatives. You know, your mother having a problem with one of the siblings and the other sibling is in between, or your father or mother dealing with children and other siblings and so forth. Bad family ties. A lot of situations you find yourself in awkward moments. Sometimes they're hostile, outright hostile. And you don't know what to do about these moments, right? You married this person, you don't know what's going on in their family. They don't know what's going on in your family. There are clashes, unnecessary conflicts, and things that you do not want to see and that you want to stop. So you don't know what to do. And in these family conflicts, people engage each other for the purposes of, trying to get something off their chest. Maybe you said something at a Christmas dinner one day. Maybe you said something at a picnic and, Johnny boy over there, he didn't really care for your comments. And so there's a grudge that's created that never is fixed. It's almost like a stain. You got to lift that stain. So sometimes you make an effort to make small chit-chat communication with this guy, with Johnny boy, we'll call him that. And Johnny boy doesn't really care for you, and nor do you care for him. But you try to keep it cordial as best as possible. Because you understand that there are moments in life where you have to humble yourself to the moment. It's not always about you all the time. That person has inner issues. We get that. So when these people have a grudge and they're not able to govern themselves in a way that's cordial towards one another, and there's their disrespect and the things that are being said and thrown about to hurt one's feelings, that is where we have a problem. That is where the dysfunction, and we need to focus there. So what do? Most of us feed into our natural human inclinations, and we'll go and cuss that person out, and we'll go and we'll curse them and yell them, tell them what we feel about them, right? And they do the same to us because they don't understand that there's some type of common ground that can be reached here where both of you people can come to an understandable agreement, is what I'm saying. And that is effective communication in a nutshell. So in these family conflicts, a lot of it requires you to shed your egos and attempt to do more than just shout and point fingers. You have to be willing to look into yourselves and realize where you're anal, where you're being dysfunctional and hard-headed. Because it always has, more than one, culprit in this situation. Just look at the situation. What are you contributing? Now, in some cases, there are people in your family who are dysfunctionally disturbed and they cannot stop contributing to the problem, whereas you're going to avoid those people. And I talked about that in another video, right? Sometimes you have to cut your family ties. But the core components of what make people in a family not get along, make them not agreeable, because you don't have to agree on everything all the time. But it's more so about, what you're willing to compromise on. Like I said, checking your ego sometimes. That's the best thing. And if you haven't looked within yourselves and figured out that, part of who you are and what you don't want to participate in, or what you're not willing to do, or not, those are the things that you have control over. Those are the things that you can factor in to say if you're doing your half or your 50% and fixing the problem in that equation. And if you're not, then go back to the drawing board. Okay? The things that make families dysfunctional. The aspects. And the aspects of bugs flying out here and just killing me on this trail. And I'll get to this real quick. But the aspects of that, folks, the things that all of you guys want to sit around and participate in to foster something either better or something designed to create more worse possibilities, which is fighting, and all of those other things. These are the things that you're not willing to work on. So take care of that, and then we can start from there. Freaking bets or something out here. And that's the thing. Sometimes, when everything is not, there's no one size fits all for life. And of course, some situations are much more severe than others. And therefore, in those situations, you can't do it, but, there's only but so much that you can contribute to that. You have to be willing to step away from those things. That's what I'm saying. Recognizing when it's fixable and when it's not. And then that's something we'll add to this, right? That'd be another caveat for discussion, but we'll add that to here. We'll say that, you have to be willing, to understand that, and I really, what I want you people to get, and let me put this, because I really want to sum this up and make this as understandable. In a family structure, right, in an environment where there's hostile relations, it's going to require some type of engagement. And if you're not fixed within yourselves, that engagement is not going to be positive, because you have to be willing to compromise, like I keep saying, and I was talking about earlier. Compromise within for your own egos, right? Be willing to listen, and certain other factors that will make a better relation in your families. Because families aren't going anywhere, but you know what? Sometimes they have to, but you know what? If you don't have to do that if it's not necessary. You all should be wanting to have the best family structure possible. And if not, then that's where you need to think about why you're thinking dysfunctionally. You get it? I love bad behavior, folks. I also love functional families. I got a few of my family members out here on the trail, and we're going to get going in a minute. And so if y'all hear them skipping around here, don't worry about it. We're going to hike it on down. But I want you guys to have a good night. Think about what I was saying. If you're in your own families and you're contributing to some type of dysfunction, some unnecessary thing that you're doing yourself. Now, if it's not you, carefully evaluate that and be prepared, if necessary, to step away from negative engagements. So until we talk again, folks, let me get on out here. Y'all ready? Yeah, we're going to get on out here and like the videos, share them, right? And I love your subscriptions and I love your comments. So leave them below. You folks have a great night. Y'all take care.